Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, friend. Oh, doggo. It's okay. He wants to be
He
part
gets excited when you say hello.
of that life. That's so
Hello, it's
funny.
okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, how are you, friend? How's it going?
I'm doing well. Just
Good, good.
hanging in.
Yeah, aren't we all? Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, where you're located, all that stuff.
Sorry. So I'm Melinda. I do a lot of fiber art crafts, and I live in Carthage. I'm based out of my home in Carthage, Missouri, and I'm just home all the time making stuff.
Yeah, you make all sorts of things. Can you give us like the list of the kinds of stuff you make?
I do a lot of crochet and embroidery, and I like to mix in beadwork with all of that. I've been obsessed with beads my whole life. I used to collect them when I was a kid, and so I just like adding beads whenever I can. So I do wall hangings that incorporate all of those different things. I do a little bit of macrame. I'm a seamstress.
Okay.
Technically, that's what I went to college for.
Oh, okay,
Um,
cool.
I have a degree in costume construction for theater.
Wow,
So
fun.
I did that for a while, and I don't do it as much anymore because I used to do it all the time. So
Yeah,
I like to mix in all the other things first.
yeah, yeah. I love that. So how did you kind of transition from that into doing crafty stuff and then making a business out of it and going to shows and selling online?
Yeah. So I worked in theater after I graduated college. I worked mostly in opera.
Oh,
And actually, when I was working as a wardrobe dresser during opera shows, to sort of fill the time, a friend of mine taught me how to crochet.
okay.
And my grandma had taught me a long time ago, but
Yeah.
you forget things. So she taught me how to crochet, and I started doing the amigurumi and different things like that, and then transitioned to blankets, and it kind of grew from there, and I just kind of got obsessed with crochet. Um, so I started a little business a long time ago, back like the beginning of Etsy.
Mhm.
It was called Clamtown, and I did all of my just kid stuff, just my stuffed animals. I make my own patterns for stuffed animals and crochet them. So I did that and like baby booties and baby blankets and such. Then I got busy with work, as you do. Moved to LA and worked in LA for a long time at the LA Opera. And then I was
Wow.
getting kind of tired of LA, needed a change. My husband and I, he was my boyfriend at the time, we just were itching to do something different. And we were talking about, in the future, you can start your own little business and create your own things instead of creating for other people.
Yeah.
And that just sort of became a reality. We moved to his hometown of Carthage and slowed things down a lot from Los Angeles lifestyle.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I was able to just really start like messing around with other things that I had always wanted to do. I've been doing crafts for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Just little things here and there, those little rose brand things that you did as a kid. I always did like the latch hook and stuff. My grandma
Yeah.
taught me how to latch hook. So I was just able to start messing around with that because I had so much more time.
Yeah.
And I just decided to start a business with it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Hmm.
So
And then is this,
kind
do
of
you have
grew.
another job too, or is this your main gig?
When we first moved here, I worked a part-time job at Goodwill, just to kind of help make ends meet. And then we decided that I would just kind of try to
Yeah.
focus all of my energy. And then last year we moved my dad in with us, so it kind of helps that I'm home all the time. He doesn't need a ton of help, but he does need help throughout the day.
Yeah.
So it's good that I'm here.
Right. I love that.
And I'm able to focus most of my time on the business now.
Yeah, that's so exciting. I think your stuff too is like, it makes so much sense that you have a background in fiber and in sewing and stuff, and also like lived in LA. Like you have such a, like, your stuff is so beautiful and not trendy in like a quick trendy way, but like it's like on brand with like just the new ideas that are coming out in the art world and stuff, while tapping into like traditional crafts, which is really fun, I think, for people to see. Yeah, I love it. It's so much. It's so fun. And we met at the Hip Handmade Market out in Missouri. And people are probably like, why were you in Missouri? But I intern Art Feeds, which is in Joplin, Missouri. And then Hip Handmade Market happens out there twice a year. And our friend Emma Ball runs it. And I was like, I need to get out here and go to this show. But like, I can't travel halfway across the country to go shopping. Like, that's insane. So then I finally was able to muster up the courage to be a vendor at it. And then it's been super fun every year to kind of make that adventure trip out there.
Yeah, I love the Hip Handmade Market. It's something that I look forward to twice a year.
Yeah.
It's great. Everybody involved is always so wonderful.
Yeah. I wonder really nice. This year what she's going to do. And also if like time just going to fly and it's going to be November again.
I know. I can't get a hold of time right now.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's terrifying, but it's all good. So what is your favorite part about owning your business?
I think it's just the flexibility. And just being able to do whatever I want with my creativity. I'm not working for somebody else and creating somebody else's vision. I'm able to bounce around in my head, which I do. I'm a very fickle crafter. I have so many projects going on all the time, and they're all kinds of projects. I'll have a latch hook project and a embroidery project and a crochet project, and they're all over the house. Exploding out of my studio. And I just I love having that ability without anyone, breathing down my neck about deadline and what I should do and colors and things. I can do all of it myself. And that's just, it's very rewarding, especially when someone tells you they like something or they buy something. It's very rewarding.
Yeah, it's the best. I know. It's funny you say, like, if you looked at my desk right now, I think I have 4 different things running. Like I have these little like ceramic pots and trays.
I saw those. Those are so cute. I love those.
I've got those. I just finished a pet portrait for someone. I've been playing around with this idea. I just became an essential oil rep. And so I'm like making like marbled bottles for essential oil. Whatever, you just gotta
go with it. However you're feeling in the day.
That's the best part. So what's some advice you have for people who are either looking to just start their own business or take their crafting or creative hustle into making it full time?
I think just kind of like honing into who you are and what you want to do. And really, I know how hard it is because I do it all the time, but don't compare yourself to everybody else online, especially on Instagram and Pinterest and like all these beautiful studios and things that are just so perfect in pictures. Like just try to separate yourself from that and just be true to who you are and what you want to do and what you want to create, because then like your creativity will come through that and it'll be honest. And it's very distracting to focus on other people and like just get in your own head about, well, they're so successful, they have like 10,000 followers, like I've been on here for 10 years and how do I do this? And it's not productive. So just try not to focus on that, because
it's so hard. That's one of the things that I struggle with a ton, is just like, it's not even what makes it harder is that Instagram has made having more followers, like you get more access to things that way. Like the swipe up feature. That's all I want, 10,000 followers.
Right?
I just want that swipe up thing. Like,
I know.
If it were something I had to pay for, I probably would. But like, they don't have that as an option.
I know. They tell you, oh, you're not good enough for this
Yeah,
one.
it's like so weird, but yeah, I think that that's great advice, and to just, take inspiration from others, but to keep that in check of like,
Right.
is that you? Like, is that tapping into something that you already have in your heart, in your head? Because that's something that like I deal with sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're doing the thing I was gonna do. And it's like, you can still do
Yeah.
it. You can still do it.
Right.
And like, you can even acknowledge that they've also done it. But especially if you're taking inspiration from someone and making your own thing, always give credit back to where you saw it and like where you got
Sure.
inspiration from, and don't
Yeah.
rip people off. Like,
Yeah.
that's what we do as creatives, right? Like, we see what's trending, we see what's out there, we see what's being made already, and like
Right.
translate that into something that we're doing into our own practices. But, balancing that with what comes naturally from you is really important, I think.
Right. Yeah. On it, yourself into it. Everything that you do, you should put yourself into.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how have you pivoted in this time of the pandemic of 2020? I feel like we're making like a time capsule, like for
Yeah.
in the future. Like, what was life like? Like, what happened?
Yeah. It's this year is so bizarre. I think just I've put more of my like beliefs into things. I haven't really expressed a lot of my political beliefs in my creations, but I've started doing more patches. I have a line of like
Love
vote
that.
patches.
Yeah.
Just things because I'm like exploding with frustration and the need to feel like I can do something and try to like put that into my creativity and the things that I make. So I've started doing that. I've started touching on that.
Yeah.
I'm home all the time anyway, so the shutdown really didn't like completely affect my day to day.
Mhm.
And it's actually been kind of distracting.
Mm.
Just trying because your head is just so full of everything right
Yeah.
now.
Right.
So I've really just been trying to focus on like breathing and giving myself the space and not pushing myself too hard, because I typically do push myself incredibly hard. And I'm very critical of myself and my time and everything. So
Mhm.
I've kind of tried to give myself a little bit more space for that.
Yeah, that's good. I think that, I've talked to obviously a lot of artists during this time about all of that. And, people have to just keep checking in with themselves.
Yeah.
If you have energy and ambition to do something, then respond to that and do it, but with
Yeah.
grace and with patience, because you might have a day where you're like completely unbalanced and you're like, why do I feel this way? And it's
Yes.
like, well, let's look at the news for 2 seconds and you'll figure out why you feel that way. And it's
Yes.
like, we're all reacting to things differently. So I think that, yeah, that's great for people to remind themselves too, to not push yourself too hard, especially in this time. And yeah, it's all good
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually started gardening more.
Oh,
Which
good.
gives me space away from the news, clear headed,
Yeah,
no noise, just
that's
the
good.
environment. And
Yeah, I love
it's a good
that.
way to just sort of zone out and tune in and, just,
Yeah, and like doing that might even like inspire future pieces that you make, or like come up
yeah,
with your
yeah,
theme, something. That's what's I love that about reconnecting with nature. Like, there's always new things that pop up that are so inspiring. Yeah, I love
yeah.
that. So how can people best support you right now?
Um, well, buying things for me is always nice, but I know a lot of people aren't able to spend extra money on things to just, decorate your home or yourself. So um, having Instagram followers just it brightens my day almost as much as someone wanting to own a piece of mine. So sharing my social media accounts, just kind of getting the word out.
Yeah,
Anything like that,
yeah,
liking things, commenting it whenever somebody comments on something I post on Instagram, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and comments like do help the algorithm like as much as it's
It
an
does.
exciting game to play. Like comments
Yeah.
do more than likes sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's when somebody follows me on Instagram, it's such a compliment. Like
Yeah,
somebody
right.
wants to see what I'm doing. Like,
Yeah,
who am I? You know, it's just,
right.
it's really nice that someone is so interested that they want my stuff to pop up in their feed.
Yeah,
And I don't know you. Nice,
yeah,
nice
exactly.
that you want to know me.
Yeah, and your stuff is like so diverse, and like you were saying, yeah, you make so many different kinds of things. So there's kind of something for everyone, and I think it's cool that you sell your patterns for things. That's really exciting because that's an easy way to support you. I think at like a I don't actually remember how much you charge your patterns for, but I think it's like an accessible way for someone to be engaged with you and your designs and stuff still, and kind of like take it on themselves too, which is cool.
Yeah, and on my website, I have free patterns actually
Oh,
posted.
cool.
So even if you're just kind of trying to dabble, I like post tutorials with it because I like teaching people. I love just
Yeah.
gathering people into the craft space.
Yeah.
Kids and adults and older
Right.
people, it's nepeople never too late to start something. People always say, "Oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that." I'm like, "You can.
I know. That's me
Just
too.
give it a
I always
try."
tell people.
Yeah.
I know. I
You
do
can
that
do
all the time.
anything. Just try it.
Just try it.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, you can just pop onto the website and try a free pattern. There's
Yeah.
different levels of things, but
Yeah.
and I I
Best.
I love helping people. So if anybody ever has a question about something, I
Mhm.
am happy to sit down and like chat with somebody and show somebody
Yeah.
something.
That's so helpful. Oh, I love that. Well, this has been so much fun chatting with you. Thank you so much for sharing
Yeah.
your time with me.
So happy to do it. It's so fun to be here. It's nice to engage with other people since
Yeah.
I don't very much anymore.
I
So
know. Yeah, totally. I'm hoping to, at the end of the week of the market, we'll maybe do like a virtual happy hour with everybody who
that
wants
would
to
be
be a part of
fun.
it. Just to,
Yeah.
it'll be overwhelming to kind of take turns chatting, but it could be cool just to see other people's faces.
Yeah, it would be really nice.
Yeah. All right, Melinda. Well, thank you so much again, friend, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you, Sam.
Bye.
Bye.